Hey Star Trek fans, Dan Gunther here with some exciting news regarding upcoming films in the Star Trek film series. Now, of course, this news is a little old. I'm coming to this a little late due to the fact that I was away last week at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. But nevertheless, I still wanted to make a few comments about the things we learned last week about these two films that are apparently in the works from Paramount Pictures in the Star Trek series. So this news comes out of the 2018 CinemaCon conference in Las Vegas, which is the annual gathering of the National Association of Theater Owners. So according to Paramount CEO Jim Giannopoulos, he talked a little bit about the studio's upcoming films and mentioned that Paramount is working on 2 Star Trek films with their partner Skydance Pictures. This is a big surprise. We haven't heard a lot of news on the 4th Star Trek film, the 4th Kelvin Timeline film, I should say, other than a few rumors of some script ideas that had come up over the last little while. But this news apparently tells us there are 2 that are currently in the works. One storyline possibility for the 4th Kelvin Timeline film announced in 2016 would feature the return of Chris Hemsworth as George Kirk, Captain James T. Kirk's father, who was apparently killed in the 2009 Star Trek film. Now, interestingly, Jennifer Morrison was one of the guests at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo last week, and she, of course, played Kirk's mother in Star Trek 2009. At the start of her panel discussion, which was hosted by Star Trek star Garrett Wang, Garrett talked a little bit about the Star Trek 2009 film, and specifically that scene at the beginning that features George Kirk's death and the birth of James Kirk, talking about how much that scene moved him and how emotional it really was. At one point, he mentions the part where George Kirk is killed, at which point Jennifer Morrison interjected and said, "presumed killed," which was a really interesting addition and had me thinking a lot about this movie treatment that we heard about in 2016. So is this a slight hint about what we might get for the next Kelvin Timeline film? And is maybe Jennifer Morrison also going to be in the film reprising her role as Winona Kirk? This is all total speculation based on just a little fleeting moment in the panel at Calgary, but it was definitely something that piqued my interest. Now, just one day after getting that news about the 2 films being in development, we also learned another tidbit from Variety. Variety magazine reports that S.J. Clarkson has been tapped as the director of Star Trek IV. This means that she would be the first woman director of a Star Trek film, which is, of course, very welcome. Indications are that this film is following the storyline that was first announced in 2016 featuring George Kirk, Chris Hemsworth reprising that role, but nothing official on that yet. However, it would be great to see Chris Hemsworth return to Trek, especially after making such a name for himself in the Thor films and other films as well. No official word yet on what the second of the 2 films in development would be, but of course there was the rumor of the Quentin Tarantino Star Trek film that he has apparently been working on, so perhaps that could be this mysterious second film. So what are your thoughts on the news of these 2 possible Star Trek films that we might see in the next couple years? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you would like to see in an upcoming Star Trek film. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks again, especially to the Patreon supporters. I really do appreciate it. And of course, thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I'll see you all in the next video. And until then, live long and prosper.